All right, welcome back to Chapter 2 of The Saints of Snowville. Now, yesterday we started to hear about a school teacher, and back in those days they would live with the families, but they would pass them from one family to another. But this particular one stayed with the family for many years and gave a scrapbook that she had made of one of the kids for over 30 years. Let's get started. As Helen James listened to President Whitney's droning voice at the installation of Bishop Jackson, her mind wandered. She recalled many of the incidents in her 25 years in Snowville. Bear Lake Valley was beautiful, but after all, it was the people who fascinated her. She loved all the saints of Snowville, but in the words of J. Golden Kimball, she loved some a damned sight more than others. The Perry boys were not exactly her favorites, but she did have fond memories concerning them, and really had a soft spot in her heart for the younger Perry boy. Now they were grown men, and tonight they had officiated at the sacrament table. This was a good assignment for the older boy. He was required to read the blessing on either the bread or the water, and could not expand or elaborate. Given a chance, he would talk all night. Jared Perry was 1 year older than his brother, Moroni, Moriancomer. The uninitiated wonder where in the hell the younger brother had got a name like that. It required some explanation, and their father, Ezekiel Perry, was always happy to explain. Jared was a character from the Book of Mormon. Most Mormons knew that. Jared, a Book of Mormon fame, had a brother referred to only as the brother of Jared. He was even greater than Jared, but his true name was never revealed in the Book of Mormon. Only elite Mormons knew that the broader Jared was in fact named Maharoni Moriancomer. The saints in Bear Lake wondered how a dumb bastard like Zeke Perry knew the true name of the brother of Jared. As a growing boy, poor Moroni Moriancomer Perry was called Han. After he got married, he wanted to be known as M.M. Perry. As Helen James contemplated the Perry boys, she recalled a good humor her first winter in Snowville. In early 1901, as the winter came colder and the quarters in the schoolhouse more confined, Miss James began to question her wisdom and sanity in coming to Snowville. She appreciated the hazards and difficulties encountered in bathing and washing during the winter, and was quite liberal regarding hygiene. Taking a bath was a major undertaking in the winter. The tub was in a galvanized tin vessel, about 30 inches in diameter and 15 inches deep. Homes in Snowville had no bathrooms, and in the winter, bedrooms were below freezing a great deal of the time, so the only place to bathe was in the kitchen, also the center of family life. A daily bath was out of the question, and a weekly bath a possibility unless the family was too large. Shunning the tub for the entire winter was not uncommon. Many of the older boys in Miss James' class milked cows and did other barnyard chores, then came to school wearing the same overalls they had worn doing their work. The aroma of the overalls, combined with that of the boy not recently bathed, blended by a hot stove in the classroom, insulted Miss James' genteel nose considerably. The teacher kept a tin wash basin, soap, and a comb over in the rear of the room. All of the boys, including 7-year-old Jack Jackson, son of Miss James' landlady, washed their face, their hands, and neck under the strict supervision of the teacher. Jared and Moroni Moriancomer Perry, age 8 and 7 respectively, caused Miss James a considerable amount of concern. All the boys in the room needed a bath most of the time, but the Perry boys must have held the record for going without bathing. Miss James was very patient with the boys. She taught her health class the importance of washing and bathing, and gave the Perry brothers low marks in personal hygiene. Often she sent notes home suggesting to the mother that she see they bathed. In one of the notes, she said that Jared and Han smelled as though they needed a bath. Miss Perry became indignant, and the boys returned the next day with a note from her. Mind your own business. The trouble with you old maid school teachers is that you don't know what a man smells like. Finally, about the middle of February, Miss James laid down the law. One Friday, she told the Perry boys that if they weren't bathed over the weekend, she would bathe them herself. Monday the boys were in school, but unbathed. Tuesday morning, Miss James came to school with a number 3 tin tub soap, and towels. Several boys, anxious to see what was to happen, fetched water, which was heated on the stove in the front of the room. When everything was ready, the teacher, keeping her word, proceeded to bathe Jared and Han, one after the other. Most of the washing was done behind the shield of blankets, which had been set up in the front of the tub. The boys, apparently cowed by the teacher's determination to bathe them, offered only token resistance. The other boys in the room watched with mixed emotions of curiosity and fear. Each didn't know but that he might be the third boy in the tub. If undressing the boys, Miss James was stopped only by the underwear. The underclothes were ankle length, full-sleeve trapdoor union suits that were supposed to be light gray in color. The Perry boys' union suits were black. The garment normally was buttoned down the front, but Jared and Han had been sewn into theirs. There was no question that the underwear had been worn continuously since November. Miss James cut the stitching with her scissors, peeled off the underwear, and scrubbed the boys one at a time in the tub. After bathing them, she pinned the underwear back on the best she could. No more baths were given that winter, but Miss James cut the Perry boys' hair several times and supervised the washing of their necks about once each week during the remainder of the term. And that will do it for Chapter 2. So stay tuned tomorrow for Chapter 3 of The Saints of Snowville.